Most people think hiding means wanting to be left alone. But some of the most private people don't want distance at all. They want someone to understand why they go quiet in a group, why serious things become jokes, why they can talk for hours, and still reveal almost nothing that matters. They want to be known. Not all at once, just not examined. So they become easy to be around, useful when somebody needs help, funny when the room gets tense, and vague whenever a question gets close. Later, even when people care about them, a familiar ache returns. Nobody really sees me. Research on self-disclosure, social evaluation, and closeness suggests this tension can make more sense than it first appears. For some people, attention isn't neutral. It feels like a spotlight, where every reaction might turn into a definition. Once you see the difference between being noticed and being known, this habit starts to look very different. A simple question can feel bigger than it should, not because you have nothing to say, but because every possible answer seems to carry a risk. You're standing with coworkers after a meeting. Someone asks, "What have you been doing lately?" Your mind starts trimming the answer before your mouth even opens. Too personal, too dull, too much, not enough, too many meanings. So you give them the safe version. It happens fast. Research on fear of negative evaluation helps explain this. For some people, being noticed can feel less like being met and more like being measured. Imagine laughing off a rough month, then watching everyone move on because you made it sound small. The room stays comfortable. You don't. Maybe you don't hate attention itself. Maybe you hate becoming somebody else's quick interpretation. But hiding can look social. You offer a version that feels safer. Hiding isn't always silence. Sometimes it's being warm, helpful, and completely available, while keeping the one real thing behind your teeth. You're telling a friend about a bad day. You describe the event, but leave out the part that kept replaying after midnight. When they ask whether you're okay, you smile and say, "It's fine." That sentence can feel like a locked drawer. Safe material. Nothing sharp. Everyone chooses what to share. That's ordinary self-presentation. But when the editing becomes automatic, people may know your timing, your jokes, your usefulness, even your favorite stories, without knowing what it costs to keep showing up that way. Imagine sending a long, honest message, then deleting it before the first reply can arrive. Your shoulders loosen for a moment. The truth is gone. So is the chance to be met there. You can be liked by everyone around you and still feel invisible. Safe versions can receive care while still missing what you need understood. It can sting when people describe you as always chill, the funny one, or the person who never needs anything. They may mean it kindly. Still, something in you goes quiet. You're sitting with friends while they explain who everyone is. When they get to you, somebody says, "They're easy. Nothing really bothers them." You laugh with the group, then carry that sentence home. Closeness often grows through perceived responsiveness, feeling that another person has seen something real, valued it, and answered with care. If your inner life stays mostly behind the curtain, others have little accurate material to respond to. That isn't a blame sentence, just a limit. Imagine being surrounded by people who would probably listen, while part of you insists they couldn't understand anyway. The loneliness isn't only about who is absent. It's about the part of you that never got introduced. Protection can also hide you from people who might understand. The reason hiding repeats is often simple. It works for a few seconds. You type, "That actually hurt me." Then you stare at it, delete it, and feel your body loosen. The question has passed. No one can respond badly. No one can look at you differently. Immediate relief is persuasive. For now. What studies show about avoidance is that, when an action removes discomfort quickly, the mind learns to reach for it again. You redirect the personal question. You make the joke. You say you're busy instead of saying you felt left out. Imagine leaving a conversation with nothing exposed, then replaying it later because nothing was said. Short-term control can become a long-term loop. It doesn't mean you're broken. It means your system has learned that certainty feels safer than the risk of being received. If this made you think of someone who is always there for everyone else, but rarely lets anyone see them, share it gently. Someone can feel invisible without ever wanting the spotlight. Soon, silence becomes a role other people expect you to play. After enough safe answers, other people begin filling in the blanks. They call you low maintenance, distant, calm, hard to upset, maybe even impossible to read. You're having a bad week. A friend cancels plans, then says, "I knew you'd understand. You're never bothered by stuff like this." You say, "Yeah, no worries," while your chest feels hollow. Correcting them would take more than one sentence. A small roll, a tight fit. This is where self-verification matters. People don't only want praise, they often want to be recognized in ways that feel true. Yet a role built for safety can make accurate recognition less likely. A person can hate the spotlight and still ache for a witness. You may spend years avoiding being defined by one bad moment, then slowly get defined by the version of yourself that never asks anyone for room. That's a lonely trade. Being known doesn't require giving your whole inner life away. The answer isn't becoming louder, more open, or emotionally available to everyone. Privacy isn't the enemy. The trouble begins when privacy becomes the only place you know how to feel safe. There is a difference between opening a window and standing on a stage. Standing on a stage means everybody gets to watch. Opening a window means one trusted person can see farther, at a pace you choose. No performance, no audience. You're texting someone who has shown care before. Instead of the usual, "I'm fine," you write, "I joke about it, but that actually got to me." Just 5% more honest. Or you say, "I need time before I know what I feel." Small truth. Nothing dramatic. That small sentence doesn't force a confession. It gives connection something real to hold. And after years of making yourself easy to understand, only from a distance, that can feel unfamiliar, even frightening, like a room suddenly lit without warning. But it is not too much. A door can stay locked to the crowd and still open for someone safe. The person who hides but wants to be known isn't asking to become visible everywhere. They may simply be tired of being treated like a version of themselves they created for survival. Hiding may have started as a boundary. Boundaries matter. But a boundary becomes lonely when it never has a door. You don't have to hand your whole story to anyone. Not all at once. You only have to stop assuming that being understood always requires becoming exposed. If you enjoy learning the hidden psychology behind the ways people protect themselves from being misunderstood, subscribe to the channel, because once you can see the difference between attention and real understanding, your silence, your relationships, and the parts of yourself you keep hidden start making a lot more sense.